What happened in the 90s? Everything was a giant fever dream.
Some of it is based off a liar's statement, which is H.H. Holmes. He was known to lie. So you basically cannot trust this man.
I picture a frog in a suit.
Yes,
That's what I'm
with
picturing
a
right now.
mustache.
Yeah.
Really, like
I wasn't picturing a mustache, but okay. Yeah, I could see that.
And take this burden off her back while her poor husband is on his deathbed. I know.
Such a good man.
So very good heart over here.
This doesn't sound nefarious at all.
No.
1 star. Killed my son.
Right.
Oh my God.
He would also ask his employees to take out insurance policies and name him as the beneficiary.
Red flag.
They actually found a footprint inside this vault he had in his murder castle. He's trying to do these frauds across the country. So
Trying to do a fraud, guys.
Yeah.
Get out of my way. Fraud coming
time.
through.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coast Files, your podcast for ocean mysteries and true crime. I'm Chantel.
I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Megan.
Hey.
I almost blanked halfway through about what
That
our
happens
podcast
to you,
was.
every third time?
Yeah, just totally blanked. I was like, what do I say? Yeah, okay. Anyways,
Who
we're
are
here.
you?
I know. I'm just totally thinking about just say your name after she stops. Just say your name after she stops. And
1,
then,
2,
yeah.
3. Blink.
Do it.
Smile. Nod. Focus on someone
Hi,
else.
Mom.
Never put anything in their
your
mouth.
Oh God, I
I'm
miss
going
those commercials.
What was that commercial for? Just like if
Yeah,
someone has a
what was-
seizure.
If someone had a seizure,
Yeah.
so that kids
Don't-
knew what to do, like at a playground.
Yeah.
Stop. Put something under her head. He said
Yeah.
so naturally.
So naturally,
Yes.
those are true kid actors.
I mean, that's important to know. You don't put stuff in their mouth.
it is
so-
100% great commercials.
Don't
but, like,
you
we
put
remembered
it
it because they
in
were
their
so
mouth.
bad. Yeah,
Until you ask
Yes.
someone you love.
It works.
If
Yeah.
it's a good eat.
They do.
like
Like
a muffin
a
or a
muffin or a
beat.
beat.
If you're Canadian, you know exactly what that's
If you
from.
don't know
Know
just
just
what it is.
Remember,
Don't
boys and girls.
put it in
your
your
mouth. Ick.
I should actually
okay.
play that for my daughter. It's probably
You
relevant for her
should.
life.
Lindsay,
right now.
your homework, should you choose to accept it, is to make
Yes.
a YouTube playlist of your Canadian childhood. So that means every Heritage Minute,
Yes.
and then also Bert and Gert, the safety people, and
Mhm.
Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod. Da-da-da, body break, body break.
They have to
Oh my
learn.
God.
They are Canadian too, so this is their heritage.
It's
Yes,
literally
they
their
need to know.
heritage, which is the tagline for
Yeah.
Heritage
Yeah,
Minutes.
part of our heritage. Yeah.
I saw a thing recently on TikTok, and it's like talking about 90s nostalgia. And there was this one, and it was like, do you guys remember the band? But it was like fever dream colored animals, and they were playing like a rock music.
Kind of sounds
Hmm.
familiar.
Anyways, it popped up, and I was like, oh my God, like memories are flooding back. What happened in the 90s? Everything was a giant fever dream.
I feel like it was so
Anything
good,
goes.
but maybe because we
Yeah.
were kids and we didn't have to do anything.
Oh, no.
besides-
and we
No,
all
it
thought
was-
house
it
hippos
was so good.
existed.
They do.
Yeah.
What do you mean? They hang out with the Tooth Fairy.
It really was a simpler time, and
It
I miss
was.
that.
Oh,
Especially
now I
now.
really want peanut butter toast. Oh.
You can have that after.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
well,
Lindsay
now
has
that
a story
it's-
for us today.
Yeah. so
What?
true.
What were you gonna say though?
And
needs to be.
well, I was just gonna say that Halloween was one of my favorite. Like trick or treating was one of my favorite things as a child. And now this week, from release date, I will be
Mm.
taking my kids trick or treating, so I get to relive it a little bit, and it's
Yeah.
like nostalgia.
That's like the only good thing about having kids is like
Yeah.
reliving your childhood through their eyes, like going to the
I
zoo or
know.
going
Well,
to the park.
One
or...
year, you guys have to come to me because it's
Yes!
hard for me to
Mhm.
not be there. It's hard for me to travel on Halloween because of them.
Yeah,
but
well,
you
of
guys can.
course.
We can
It's the
share their
Sabbath.
candy, right? They'll probably love that.
I'll just get my
Yes.
own candy. I'm like, hello, trick or treat, please.
Do you think that if I just go up to the doors and I'm like, guys, first of all, 2 cute kids with me. Third of all, I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. You guys should give me all the candy
This
as
is your
well.
first trick or
And they're like,
treating.
ma'am, your life story not required. Just please
Well,
leave.
When I went last year, several places were like, and a treat for mom. I'm like,
Oh,
thank you. So like,
What
amazing.
about
was very
mom's
nice.
friends?
yes, all the
that are
moms,
childless.
adjacents, right? Yeah, you have fur babies. That counts.
I mean, also
Um,
because buy your own candy, but yes, I'm down for coming to you, obviously.
Mhm.
Yes, it'll be fun. So, I would say my story today, if the United States had heritage moments, this would be one. part of it,
Oh,
the beginning part.
okay.
Not
It's
the
not
whole
normally a
thing,
good
not the
thing.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beginning part would be on it, I'm sure. So my
Okay.
story takes place in Chicago.
Ooh.
So,
Okay.
which is on Lake Michigan, and part of my very small part of my story may or may not have happened on the lake. So that is the connection for
Okay.
today.
Listen, we all know what this is now.
Yes,
This is our
I
fever
think-
dream.
Yes, I think Megan will be extra excited about the story because I know. We
Okay, well,
talked about
based
it
on the
before.
photo, I am like
You
pretty
already know.
sure.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start off a little bit with a little like preamble history that I got into that I probably spent too much time on. Anyway,
No such
here we
thing.
go.
Amble away.
So in 1890, Chicago was in the running to host the World's Fair, officially known as the World's Columbian Exposition. This was named to mark the 400th year since Columbus stumbled upon America. The purpose of the fair was really, though, to demonstrate the progress in the United States, the technological advancements, and to just show its influence in the world. So the previous year, Paris had their big fair. They debuted the Eiffel Tower. So
Which
the
is
United
like
States, yeah, it was
Still-
pretty impressive.
Still pretty fucking cool.
Right. Now,
Mhm.
apparently everyone in Paris hated it, but like it's iconic. And yeah, it was kind of known in Paris to be like an eyesore for people
That
who
is
live
such
there.
a Parisian thing to say because they
Yes.
just hate everything. I
There
love
was,
that.
I forget who it was, but it was some like, I don't know, famous Parisian who said his favorite place was to dine was in the Eiffel Tower because that was the only place in Paris where you wouldn't see it.
Oh
That's
my
good.
God. That is
So that
really
was-
funny.
I know, I thought so too.
Tell me how you really
Um,
feel.
I know, right? So they wanted this fair to be even more spectacular to, one up Paris. So Chicago was in the running and everyone was really excited to see that they actually won the bid for the fair. They beat out New York
Exciting.
and Philadelphia and other cities. So it would give Chicago a really great chance to showcase how it's rebuilt, especially after the Great Chicago Fire of 1871 that destroyed most of the city. So Chicago's top architects came together, Daniel Burnham, John Root, Frederick Olmsted, and Charles Atwood, to build essentially a small city for this fair. It was around 690 acres. So that would be approximately like, I don't know if I calculated this right, but like 2.7 kilometers by 2.7 kilometer
That's pretty big.
area or
Mhm.
1.6 miles by 1.6.
Oh, also, is this space, because like I've only been to Chicago a couple times,
Mhm.
as you know, is this space still like accessible? Like, do buildings still exist? Like, could we go there and visit?
Yes.
Okay.
Some. Very few.
I
So there were-
imagine like only parts still
Yeah.
are around.
There were a couple permanent structures that remain today, the Museum of Science and Industry and the Art Institute of Chicago. So, Megan, we went there.
I had
Did we
no
go there
idea.
too, Chantal?
I
I'm not
think
sure.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
imagine you would have taken her because it's like
Yeah.
the coolest museum.
Yeah. And there was one year
I
Chantal
thought
visited
the
like
three of us
twice
went
in 2
together.
months.
Yeah.
So I'm
Did all-
sure.
Wait, did all three of us go when Damien was there?
Yes.
We went to
For Grayson's birthday, you were all there. But then there was, before COVID, Chantal randomly came to visit. And then she came like a
yeah.
month later because she just got a
Yeah.
cheap flight or something. And then I was like, this is the best. Just come every month forever.
Oh, yes. Okay, so then you probably went twice, which means that I also went twice.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
Yeah,
guys went,
anyway.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
And if
yeah.
not, I'll take you again. We'll refresh memories.
Perfect.
It'll be great. So anyway, a lot of the structures were temporary. They were made of white plaster or like had like white tents. And this gave Chicago the nickname the White City. So the fair would showcase modern electric lighting because most homes at the time used gas lighting, like gas lamps, which that was
To
a
be
pretty big deal.
gaslit.
Yeah,
That's actually a great movie, by the way.
I haven't
Need
seen
to
it.
watch it.
But
Oh,
I've been
it's-
gaslit before, so I guess does that count?
Same.
I think
Chantal,
if you're
have
a woman, you definitely have been. Chantal holds the crown.
for the most gaslit. They also
we laugh because it's just so like devastating, but you know.
I know.
Listen, laugh with your
it's not
tears,
funny
laugh with your
matter,
tears.
but we can laugh about it now that we are in a good place.
Do not tell me how to get through my trauma, okay?
right. You do you. We're here. We got there. So
That's right.
Um,
Have a big drink. That's right.
yeah.
Have a big gulp.
I know. I remember one time it wasn't you being gaslit, but another time we were just sad and your diet was Ben and Jerry's for like a week only. Like
Yeah.
it was just one tub of ice
Oh.
cream per day. And I was like, okay, well maybe we'll eat
There's-
vegetables.
There's probably no protein in there either.
Yeah, and you were like losing weight. I'm like, she can't survive on Ben and Jerry's forever. But
Listen, it was comfort, okay? What can
Right.
you do?
hey, it was delicious, so no
Mhm.
judgment. So they also introduced things like the zipper. So
What?
you all love
Sorry,
zippers.
I forgot. Like, yeah, zippers are still pretty cool.
Pretty, yeah. And in the grand scheme of thing, not that old. So
Wait, do
Wrigley
you mean like the
gum.
zipper or like
Yes.
the
No,
like
Yeah,
for
like
your
the
pants?
zipper.
Not like the Oh, I thought you meant like the carnival thing, like
Well,
the ride.
Oh,
the
wait.
zipper.
because my next one is getting to it. And then the biggest highlight was the Ferris wheel. That was the introduction of
Okay.
the Ferris wheel. So you had that on the brain, and that was my first photo. So you can check it out. The
Okay.
Ferris
not that
wheel.
it's not cool, but like
That's the first
Eiffel
Ferris wheel?
Tower? Eiffel
that?
Tower Ferris
I know.
wheel?
Yeah, but did the Eiffel Tower go round and round? Can you do that on the Eiffel Tower?
I would be very
Mhm.
concerned if it did.
The Eiffel Tower is actually kind of terrible to go to because it's just this big tourist trap. Like underneath, people are trying to sell
Yeah.
you tiny Eiffel Towers. Did I buy one? Yes, but like I was
And that's why
getting
you're mad.
bombarded. I'm like, it's too much. So, all this planning excitement had people from around the globe flocking to Chicago. Unfortunately, not everyone with the best of intentions. So, at this time, Chicago looked very industrial. It was very probably smoky from all the coal burning. There's a lot of streetcars. It was a common form of transportation. So, this is the book, by the way, that I'm going to be referencing quite a few times, probably.
It's actually
Oh.
one of the best books I've ever read.
Yes, this
Really?
is
Okay.
historical nonfiction, Devil in the White City by Eric Larson.
Oh my
So
God,
that's
so
where
good.
that White City term, you know,
I actually
and
don't
you'll
remember. That probably was in the book, but I don't remember that. So you were teaching me more even now.
yes. Well, I read the book a little while, like probably a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to like reread it before like I decided last week I was going to do this. I was like, I'll just reread
casually.
it, and I did not get to fully reread it.
No, it's a pretty
Mm.
big book, but it's
I-
really good. So if you're interested in what you're going to talk about, this book is
Yes.
good.
Half the book discusses architecture in Chicago, the World's Fair, but the other half, the devil part, that's the part we're going to get into today for Halloween. That part is very crazy. So, anyway, what I was saying about the whole streetcar thing, and it was very foggy and dense, and the book describes how people would get hit by streetcars all the time too, and just like it was very
Damn.
grim sort of city at this
Oh my
time.
god.
Dark, dusty.
Very dark, like murders happening kind of frequently. It was very
Okay.
industrial. The fair would kind of help, at least at that moment, start to alleviate some of that. But
Mhm.
a lot of people were coming to the city, a lot of young women too, and this would be the first time they're away from their families. It's not easy to contact anyone, especially like at that time. So it was very easy for people to disappear or something happened to them.
I don't like
So,
where this is going.
no.
Yeah, it's not going to get any better.
Hey,
today's-
young women can't get a hold of their family, and people are just disappearing on the streets of Chicago. It's
And there
great.
was one person
Come
who
visit.
thought this was actually not so bad of a thing, and that was H.H. Holmes. So that's who our story is about today. So I know Megan's been wanting
I
me
don't want to say
to.
I'm excited because that's kind of like morbid to say, but this is such a fascinating story.
Yes,
And his
and
whole
Damn.
there's so much. There's
I
so
will
much.
preface this that there's a lot of information that I'm going to try to cram into a small period of time. And some of it was hard to track down some of the details because some of it is based off a liar's statement, which is H.H. Holmes. He was known to lie. So just keep that in mind. You basically cannot trust this man. So
Mhm.
H.H. Holmes was
Shocking.
born Herman Webster Mudgett.
Like, I mean, let's just stop
Wait
right
for your
there.
Perfect
comment.
name.
I know.
This-
I was like, wait for
This
comment.
this explains everything.
I picture a
Yes.
frog for some
Yeah.
reason.
Oh my
Like
God,
that-
yes.
Like I picture a frog in a suit. That's
Yes,
what I'm
with
picturing
a
right now.
mustache.
Yeah.
Really, like,
I wasn't
I
picturing
mean-
a mustache, but okay, yeah, I could see
I think Mudgett, it needs to have a mustache.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
just, like,
he did
Margaret.
have later on, not in 1861 when he was a baby, but at some point.
Can you imagine?
Not like Hitler. He, born with a mustache.
No.
Clearly.
He was born in the small town of Gilmanton, New Hampshire. He was a self-proclaimed mama's boy who, as a
Oh.
child, enjoyed inventing things and reading authors like Jules Verne and Edgar Allan Poe. So, like, so far,
Well,
he's not the worst.
okay.
at this
Poe I
point.
like.
I mean, I love
Yeah.
me some Poe.
Yeah. So his parents were very strict with him, and he was often bullied as a child. One day, two older boys thought it'd be really funny to scare little Herman, forcing him into a room in a doctor's office with a skeleton inside. They're like, we're going to scare this little kid. To the bully's surprise, though, little Herman wasn't that scared after all.
Yeah, it's creepy.
In fact, it started a fascination with the death and dead bodies.
If he wasn't who he is, I'd be like, same.
Was
Yeah,
this
I know.
like
At this point, I'm like not totally off for
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
Is this like a plastic skeleton or like a real
A real
someone's-
skeleton.
Oh, damn.
So back then, doctors, Chantal, this would have been you had you become a nurse a long time ago. They had to take real bodies to study and
see
learn
that, yeah.
from. So there was not uncommon for a doctor to have a real skeleton. So, which they
We
would
should-
get from like people donating bodies.
Yeah,
or something.
we should cover
Mhm.
grave robbers one of these days.
Yes. I
See,
know.
how your,
Kind of like
see how your eyes lit up? You and Herman.
Right.
My God, so similar.
yeah. Well,
You and
Chantal did the
Herman.
bog
and
bodies.
Oh my God, that was so
So,
interesting.
Yeah. Which was awesome. So I would definitely be down to learn more about stuff like that, Chantal.
Yeah.
Megan. So as he grew, Herman became more intrigued by death. He collected skeletons of small animals, and he would also perform dissections on small animals. So don't love that.
Like
the
the
skeleton
collecting-
thing, I kind of
Yeah.
like if you found one. But it seemed like, okay, did he like kill these animals and dissect them?
Yeah.
Because
Not-
like even this day and age, you can go to like an oddity store and you can get like a what's that word called? Articulated. It's like when the skeleton is all placed the way it is, like in its natural form. There's a word.
Yeah,
Someone's
probably.
screaming at me.
There you
And you can buy like a taxidermied bird or something. So
Mhm.
that part's not weird, but it's the fact that he's like finding animals or killing animals and then dissecting. That's kind of
Well, I mean, wasn't that what what's his face started off doing as
So
Dahmer?
many.
Dahmer
So-
started off
yes.
doing that. Remember, he was getting the bodies, and then his father was teaching him how to soak them in the acid to get.
don't
to the
say bodies,
skeletons
say
and-
animal carcasses.
animal carcasses. Sorry,
Bodies.
yeah, he
Bodies
wasn't
came
just finding
later.
dead bodies on the side of the road.
Yeah,
It was,
Dad's like,
yeah.
let's father-son adventure. It's be fun.
I mean, that's more like Dexter type, but
yeah,
still.
but yeah, so-
Right. Yeah. So it seemed like his morbid fascination just started to, instead of just staying lightly morbid, he's taking it a little bit further. So after high school, he became a teacher somehow because who hires like a teenager? But
What?
that's what happened.
Did he just like walk in? He's like, I think
I'll
can
teach
I'll,
this.
I'll just do this job. He picked up chalk. He's
Probably.
like,
So as he got older, we'll discuss more and more. He was very charismatic, so maybe he did talk his way into a job, and he was actually very smart as a child. He got really good
Con man.
grades, so it is possible. Like maybe he's teaching younger kids. Who knows? Like he was smart when he was a
okay,
child.
so it's not as outlandish as like someone who's like graduating high school, walking into a high school to
Right.
teach it.
Yeah, and at this point in his life, he's not terrible yet.
Well,
So
Mhm.
he's weird.
apart
for
from the
sure.
animal, if he killed any animals, then yes. But like,
Yes.
we'll see what happens. So he met a
Okay.
young woman named Clara Lovering when he was 18, and she agreed to marry him. I know, what a pretty name, right?
Well,
Mhm.
that's someone
Lovering.
close to the podcast.
Yes,
Well, I
her
mean
baby.
Clara, but
Clara.
there's
It
a
could be
little
Clara.
connection.
To be honest, it could be Clara or Clara. I might be saying it wrong.
I think
So-
Clara's more common, but like, who are we
Clara,
to say? We're not there. It's 100 years ago.
Clara Lovering. It's still a pretty name. So
Mhm.
I apologize, Clara, for any mispronunciation.
I'm sure she's fine.
Yes. Sorry, I just have massive sun now shining in here.
Do
Hopefully it's
you
not
want to
too
pull your
bright.
shade down? Will that help you, or then you'll be like pitch black? I feel like it's
Take a
gonna
minute
hurt
and
your
pull it
eyes.
down. Yeah, you're trying to read.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a good idea.
It was
Let me just
cloudy.
try and read with the sun directly in my eyeballs.
No, guys, it's totally
It's
fine.
She's just crying,
Yeah.
just like tears streaming down
The
the, face.
mascara is just-
It's fine. It's fine, guys.
There we go.
And then after he was done teaching,
This is better lighting. So
that's
we'll
so
do
much
this.
better.
Mhm.
It was cloudy and it was perfect, and all of a sudden I'm like,
Yeah.
but I actually
goddamn
have the
nice
curtain
weather.
closed. The curtain
actually
is
supposed-
there is a curtain, but it's
Holy
just
shit.
that's how bright
It's
it
very
is.
sheer. So
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be extremely nice this weekend,
Oh,
which
I
is
know.
why I'm not going to be sick. not-
I
No,
took
you're
Maeve
not.
outside.
Do you know what I'm
We'll cut
hoping
this,
for
but I
you?
took Maeve.
is I'm hoping that you get everything done today that you want to get done, and then you're
Mhm.
just not sick all weekend, and you're like,
Uh-huh.
free weekend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
because there's something there, but maybe it's like one of those things that like it's trying to get its claws in me, and I'm like,
Mm.
F
You're like,
you.
you're
Yeah.
This is the healthiest I've ever been. I also took so many garlic oil pills and echinacea and what
Perfect.
else? Zinc. I'm just shoving and vitamin C. So
Do
Yeah.
it.
oh,
Shove
it's
it all
gonna have
in
to
there.
it's
That
gonna
actually
have to
happened
really
to
come for me.
me in August. I was getting the verge of sickness, and I somehow squashed it. And I was hoping I was going to squash it for my Toronto trip, but I ended up just
But
dealing with it. And
but
then
your body paced it out.
I was
So
so adamant that I was like going to squash it again that I
yeah.
was like, no,
And
not
it was like,
happening.
yeah.
We're still going to kind of be in here. So, um,
Timing wise, though, I thought it was like the best it could be. If you were
yeah.
sick here, that would have really sucked.
I
'cause
actually
you would
what,
have
though?
wanted.
felt better. I was just still congested.
Can I
Yeah.
just say that on the recording, and I think it's because we were drinking, we all sounded congested. So like you don't
Right.
sound any more congested than the rest of
it's
us.
the most nasal we've ever been.
Thank you
we
guys
all sound
for
like this.
doing that for me.
Yeah, no problem.
Wait, did you just like turn up the like nasal on all of us
I
except for
did.
Lindsay?
Yeah, that's a button.
Yeah.
More nasal.
There is actually a setting that we can make us sound more nasally. So
Why would you ever want that? You know what this podcast needs? Aside from being haunted, more nasally. Like one of my-
to sound like this, okay?
Yeah. Turn it off. Delete. Okay, so
I
get
would not
back
do that
into
to us. Okay, back into
Herman's life and trials.
okay. So things were going well for him at first with his new wife. He was a caring husband. But shortly after the birth of their son, he became more and more distant and absent. Turns out
Mm.
family life wasn't really for him after all. I mean, he
Herman.
was like basically still a teen, being like probably, yeah, this is me great.
Okay.
And then
Well,
suddenly,
that makes a little more sense.
yeah, I mean, he's like 19, I think, at this time. So,
But is it 19 back then, like being 45 now?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
basically.
I mean, it was still a shitty thing for him to do.
Yes.
So a few years later, he left New Hampshire to pursue medical school. He started in Vermont, and then he moved to the University of Michigan, enrolling in September 1882. It was after starting school here that Herman claimed he did his first dishonest thing.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
And again, this is his testimony, so we don't know when it started.
Mhm.
So we know it's not true, but
Yeah,
still
the first thing is
curious.
actually not terrible, though. He took on a job as a traveling bookseller, and he was supposed to sell this one book across Illinois. But instead of turning his profits, he just kept them for himself. So stealing, it's bad.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
not
That
murder.
kind of reminds me of when you're in school and they're like, sell these chocolate bars, and then you leave them at home, and then everyone in the house eats them, and you're like, well, you got to pay me now. It's
Yeah,
just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just
know.
one of those
I used to
things
hate
where
selling those. I always had someone who'd be like, "I'll pay you back," and I'd be like, I'm a yes person, and I'm like, damn it, now I'm gonna have to
All
chase them
that
down
chocolate
for
bar money.
$4. That's gonna be annoying as crap to do
Mhm.
that. So I hated selling those things, but I did.
yeah.
So he didn't consider this a total loss though, because it was during this traveling salesman job that he first laid his eyes on the beautiful city of Chicago. Chicago. So I know. Although back then, remember, it kind of foggy and gross.
No, yeah,
Oh,
sorry,
yeah,
sorry,
like,
there's
I
no
love
lights.
it.
Absence of lights.
Yeah,
Dark.
no,
Yes.
we were gonna
Yeah.
get the electric lights.
Watch out
soon.
for streetcars.
Yeah. So back in Michigan, he started another side gig selling corpses. So
Okay, sorry, I forgot. That shocked me, but yes. From
What?
Meg,
How do
from
you-
books to bodies.
How does
So,
that?
remember
What?
how that encounter,
A
with the
good salesman
skeleton?
can sell anything, Chantel.
He knew that doctors needed bodies and skeletons to
okay,
study.
Okay.
So he would steal them, presumably like from graves and stuff, though.
Okay, so
to
here's our grave
sell
robbing
for medical
episode.
study. Yes. So I don't think at this point he was murdering. There wasn't evidence anyway, but
Okay.
he wasn't supposed to be doing this. So
Yeah.
um so unfortunately he wasn't as good at medical school as he was at stealing bodies. His grades were terrible, so sharp decline from his youth of perfect grades. At one point during medical school, he ends up proposing to this woman he met. She was like a hairdresser. But later he retracted this proposal, which was a very serious offense at that time, to propose marriage and to not follow through.
But also,
Really?
he
Okay.
is married still.
Yes, but they don't know that.
Okay, I'm just
This is
making sure.
Michigan. Remember, he's
This
kind of
is
left his family at this point. He's not
Different
really
state,
present.
different
State.
rules. We are starting fresh.
they're not gonna
Right.
find him.
No, no,
Right.
especially not back then.
Communication was
Yeah.
not as good.
But from all of the like old timey things that I've read, yeah, like to propose marriage, because it really is not all about love. It's a contract. So imagine doing a big
Mhm.
business deal and you're right at the finish line to sign, and you're like,
And
actually,
yes,
I'm
I'm
gonna
good.
pull up. That is
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think she was like a single mother, maybe something like that too. So
Oh.
like to like promise
Oh.
something like that and be like, take it away. So he was actually at risk of being expelled from medical school.
Oh,
But luckily,
For that?
yeah,
Or because
yeah.
of his grades? Oh, wow.
well,
Shit.
and I'm sure they're just
I
like, oh,
mean,
also you're bad at school too. But mostly it's the
right.
marriage thing.
But think
Yeah.
about too, even when like with Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, how big of a scandal that was. Like
Yeah.
that he,
Yet
got the
now
boot.
there's more crazy shit happening and nothing's
Nothing.
happening.
Yeah,
No one's
now we
saying a
don't
peep,
have
but anyway.
enough. Like, hey, is this okay? So
We're all the whistleblowers.
lucky for him though, he used his charm for some of his professors who vouched for him, and he ended up not getting kicked out, and he successfully graduated med school somehow. So
Well, listen, even if you get 55, you're still passing, which is
yes,
terrifying.
What is it?
Uh,
C's and D's get degrees.
Right? Now, which
Exactly.
one's the vein? This is your left knee, right?
Right.
Left knee?
I don't
My
get
left,
the
your
vibe
right.
that he was ever a very successful practicing doctor.
I'm guessing
But
not.
we'll get to it. He was good at maybe other things.
Well,
Mhm.
the keeping people alive and healthy was not his interest,
Not his forte.
from what I
No,
recall.
kind of the opposite, you might
Yeah.
say. So, blah, 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 where was I? Okay, so he started working on his next devious plan. He and a fellow student who the book mentions was Canadian. I'm like, okay, so we're not all perfect. We get it.
Oh, wait, he's a bad guy? Never
Yeah,
mind.
like, well, he's straight.
The hair unflipped.
Put the hair back.
Put
Unflip
it back on flip. So they came up with a plan to commit insurance fraud. So this would be a new kind of
Just
undertaking
cash.
for Holmes.
Been there.
So they wanted to take out insurance on a family of 3 and fake the deaths so that we could collect insurance policy money.
What could go wrong?
So obviously, because he'd been acquiring bodies anyway, this should be maybe, simple.
Easy
Mhm.
peasy.
Unfortunately, he was having a little bit of trouble with this one, and he was realizing more and more that insurance companies were like being more aware of this type of fraud. So he kind of
Almost like it's their
temporarily
business. Like, duh.
right. It's like, hey, this is happening a lot.
The goal is that we never
Maybe-
pay you. So we're going to do
Right.
whatever we can to not pay you.
Exactly. So he kind of abandons the idea temporarily, but not permanently. So he would still, though, like, steal some bodies from labs, I think, and use them in his own like schemes on the side. But he, at one point, he even actually mutilated a body and claimed they were an accident. So he was still doing this. He just didn't do that elaborate,
That
like,
was just the
family.
excuse. He didn't
thing.
give a shit about the money, really. He just liked to do it, I think.
Got off on
I
it.
think it was
Oh.
actually a combination. I think he really wanted money just to achieve more of
Wait. If you're doing what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm so
Um,
sorry. That's really bad.
Yes.
You're like,
So
yes, that is.
and I actually
Megan.
wrote
Yes,
here
that is.
next. I'm like, he was still very motivated by money though. And he wasn't really making enough doing what he was doing. For a while, he took a job at an asylum in Philadelphia, and for a while, I mean literally a few days. He
I
found
would
out
not want
that
him
it
in an
was
asylum.
just too much for him. Yeah, he's probably like,
Fair.
I'm also not well, and this is too much. So
Well, I just feel like it'd be very easy for him to hurt those type of people and it just go to completely unnoticed during that time. Because that time was not
Yes.
good to people in asylums.
I'm actually
No.
shocked that he didn't thrive at a place like that. Because
Yeah,
you hear
same.
you hear so many stories like the Italian island that the doctor was, but like
Yeah.
that's such a trope, right? Like the evil
Yeah.
doctor experimenting on the
right. And you think he could have
mentally.
just been like, well, that person just took their life or something like that, and
Yeah.
I'll take the
Yeah,
body
which
out.
also happens, but
Yeah, and he could have been like, we bonded. They put me on the insurance claim as a beneficiary.
that also
That's what they
happens all the time.
wanted. So, yeah, I am kind of surprised he didn't. I think it was just maybe the work was too hard. So then he found work at a drugstore. But after a young boy died from the medicine at that drugstore, he promptly skipped town and headed to Chicago. I think there was some rumors and spreading that maybe,
I
he
actually
could have
totally
had something to do
forgot
with
that
it.
he definitely did, knowing him. And he's also not very he's not careful. Like he's smart, but I think he's lucky more than he's
Right.
like he just a lot of things just work out for him. But I'm sure he was just
Mm.
like not careful. Like I don't think he'd kill a kid intentionally because
No,
what does he
I
get
think
out
he
of
was
it?
just bad at his job,
Yeah.
maybe. So anyway,
I swear these didn't say arsenic on them yesterday.
there was also another story that had come out previously that a young boy had gone missing and he was the last person to be seen with the boy. And another story back from his childhood, he was playing with his best friend in like kind of an abandoned building or something, and his best
Fun.
friend like fell to his death accidentally.
Oh.
So like there was other like stories around him where it was kind of like like nothing
So,
proven.
but knowing him now, you're like, well,
Knowing him
maybe.
now, that's why I think later on you're like, was it? Was this an accident? So
That's interesting.
I think he was just escaping town to be like, I'm getting away from any sort of rumors. I don't want to have anything to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
So he ends up arriving in Chicago, which we all know from he likes Chicago.
Mhm.
And he had to be certified and licensed here. And obviously, his name might have been not had the best reputation out east. So
He's
he
killing
decides
people and
to.
stealing bodies and taking back proposals.
Well, we don't know
like,
if he's killed anyone at this point,
Mm-mm.
but
Just there's some suspicious
some rumors
deaths around
right.
him.
So he changes his name to H. Holmes at this point, Dr. Henry Howard Holmes.
Upgrade.
So that is
Upgrade.
just a fancier name. It actually kind of suits him probably more. And it was a prominent name at the time, so he knew he'd probably have an easier time in Chicago with this name. So I'm going to call him Holmes now, moving forward, if
Okay.
I haven't already. So
Not Curmudgeon or whatever his name was.
Not
Curmudgeon. Herman Curmudgeon.
Yeah, Herman Mudgett. Now H. Holmes.
That's so much
Okay.
better.
You can actually take a look at my next photo. That is H. Holmes, the man, the myth, the
Oh,
very
that
bad
is
legend.
quite the
So,
mustache.
yes, he
Yeah,
actually
I
did have
mean,
a mustache.
Like, okay, it's a cool
Like,
photo because it's like
Objectively, he's not ugly.
he's fine, but
Uh,
if he's charming, yeah.
yeah.
I always
so-
just think of American Horror Story, H. Holmes. So like that's where I always go for like
I
the
can't
mustache.
even
and everything.
remember which season
It was
that's
in-
on.
it was in
I don't know if I
Hotel.
saw that season. Oh,
I
okay.
never finished that one.
Oh, Lady
I will.
Gaga.
I know I have so much to watch.
I haven't
Okay.
seen it either, but I'm sure that is
It's
probably
good, and
not too
and
far
H.
from
Holmes
the
is
truth.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Do you guys remember
So-
the jazz loving Axeman of was it New Orleans? He's
Yeah.
also in American Horror.
Yeah, he's in
Story.
the Coven.
okay.
He's in Coven, right?
Yeah, because
Mhm.
didn't he have to like play jazz music to ward him off or something?
Yes.
Was that
Yes.
He
his whole
didn't play
thing? Like,
jazz.
if you
He was like, I'm gonna get
I'm
ya.
gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna come kill you because I love
I'd be like, jazz.
And so like
all
every
time.
night was just playing jazz just all night long.
Yeah, I'd
That'd
be like,
be- what
keep
a
him
time.
happy. Like, just
Yeah.
do it.
What a time to be
I
alive.
just want to sleep.
I hate jazz music.
Is that when earplugs were invented?
Yeah.
Would have been smart.
Okay, back to
back
HH.
to HH. Okay, so he was considered attractive. He had dark hair,
Yeah.
blue eyes, very charismatic. He would do kind of weird things where he'd kind of linger a little too long, but like some ladies loved it. I don't think I would, but anyway.
It
He
depends on
became
your
across
it
as-
depends on your charisma. Really, let's face it. An
Apparently
unattractive
he
man can be
was-
good if he's charismatic enough.
true enough. So
Or if they're funny, I laugh all the way into bed.
Yeah. You got me.
Damn. Again?
That damn funny bone.
Oh.
So, upon arrival, he settles into the community of Englewood in the south side of the city, and he walks into a drugstore there, E.S. Holton Drugs. He finds the owner, Mrs. Holton, an elderly lady, is running the place essentially by herself because her poor sick husband is upstairs and unable to help. So they're an elderly couple. So he starts working there to help her, but he quickly picks up on her vulnerability and uses his charm to kind of make her feel at ease. So he eventually suggests that in order to help her, like completely for Mrs. Holton, that
Obviously.
he could buy the pharmacy from her and still allow her to
Yes.
live in the apartment upstairs as they've been
Oh,
doing and
so-
take this burden off her back while her poor husband
gentleman.
is on his deathbed. I
He's
know.
such a good
Gentleman.
man.
So very good heart over here.
This doesn't sound nefarious at all.
No.
No,
I
no,
can
no.
also see him like with his like one arm around her, and he's just like, "No,
Yeah, like
please come sign the deed. Everything's fine." And he's
right.
just
And it
like
looks like he
staring
worked
at
for
her.
her for a bit first. So he like really actually built up her trust.
Mm.
So she ended up signing over the pharmacy to him, and he changes the name to H. Holmes Pharmacy. So word was getting out too in the city that this handsome single doctor had purchased a
Oh,
pharmacy. So it would be more and more
Mm.
frequented by young women.
have you seen his mustache?
You might have seen a mustache, but you started to not see Mrs. Holton anymore. She seemed to be MIA.
I'm sure that they're both totally
Oh.
Totally
fine
fine. Now, I think her husband actually did die. Maybe I'm not sure if he had
of
anything to do
natural
with it, but it
causes.
might have been.
I literally
So
don't believe that
I
still.
don't, yeah. I mean, if he was almost dead, maybe like this whole played out while he died. I'm not sure. I forget what
Mm.
the book might have told me, but so Holmes just explains to anyone who asks, though, that she decided to travel and visit some family now that she finally could, with the passing of her sweet husband. So when she never
Mm.
returned, though, he kind of ended up changing the story to that she decided to move to California permanently to be with her family. So he
Mm-hmm.
eventually, people stopped asking and just bought his story that that
God,
was
the
what
internet
happened.
has revolutionized people
Oh
lying.
my God, he would not have got away with anything back then.
No. It'd be like, actually, on Facebook, someone
Yes.
said, no, yeah, it would have been so
Yeah,
easy.
I know. So it's not for sure, but she could have been his first murder victim. So
Or that
before
little boy
arriving,
could have been.
it could have been
There's a
right.
lot of could have beens, but
Yeah.
she was one.
Yes.
But first, that's I guess you
Mhm.
can't know for sure.
So before he actually arrived in Chicago, he did have a brief stay in Minneapolis where he met a woman named Belknap. Sorry, Myrta Belknap. I cannot
That's
get
that
his
is
name.
listen,
What a
Lindsay.
name.
That's a
Do
hard
you,
name.
do you know why it
Yeah.
took me like 3 times to read the name and write it out again? I was like, wait, what was it again?
And you're like, I still
Myrta.
can't do it.
What was it? Belknap? I cannot with this name. It's
Knapsack.
something my brain just
Marta
cannot.
knapsack.
Yes.
Yeah, I
And
get
she
it.
did not
Yes.
die, so we're allowed to make fun of it.
Okay.
So he began to court her, and he would visit her from Chicago. He asked her to marry him, and they did so in January of 1887.
Wait, but he's
He
still married, right?
Yeah, he didn't tell her
Okay,
that
I'm
part.
just like,
So he
keep
is still
forgetting.
married to
Okay.
Clara.
Oh, and he has a
Um,
son.
Yes, but they're in New Hampshire.
Oh yeah,
He's
whatever.
in Chicago.
They'll never make it
So-
to Chicago.
Exactly.
They'll never find me.
He attempted to divorce his first wife, claiming she was unfaithful, which was actually like a really big deal to like claim this back
Mm,
then.
also
it was very
hilarious.
reputation damaging.
Speaking of being
Mhm.
gaslit,
Right.
sir.
But it never actually happened because he had literally no proof because that didn't happen.
And he hasn't
Um,
seen her in like forever. So like,
Right. So I think he just kind of let it go and he was still, officially married to his first wife. So they did have a pretty good marriage, at least at first. He moved them into Mrs. Holton's old apartment.
with all of her clothes in the closet.
Yes. Like, oh, she's just on vacation.
Just don't
so
go in the back room. She's just there in the bed with Lyle over.
Right. Oh. So she becomes pregnant, but she sees him less and less. He's always has her in the office. He seems to be like less and less, interested. Her parents end up moving to a Chicago suburb of Wilmette. So she ended up kind of having her baby there. And at first Holmes is present again, but then he visits less and less and seems to just like keep her far away.
What the hell? What a
Did
weird
he just like the
setup.
chase? Like, is that like it just
I think
seems
it was
so weird?
I think so. And I think he was always on the lookout for new opportunities and it's like he kind of maybe got what he needed out of her and
Mm.
or I don't know. The fact that he moved her far away, maybe he did care about her cuz he could have done
I
worse.
think he wanted her out of the spot so he can get the next one and the
Yeah, I think
next
he
one.
right. And he doesn't want to draw attention as well because I think her family did have money and like if he, if he kills
Mm.
the wrong person, it actually causes alarm. So
That's fair, yeah.
Well, that's the first I'm hearing of that kind of thing. Killing people that are poor because no one cares.
Right. Ugh. New idea back then. So across the street, he bought a vacant lot, probably with the money he got from the pharmacy he stole.
Oh my
from all
God,
the
that's
business
right.
he's
Because
been
like
making.
he didn't
Yeah.
buy it. He just got. Oh my God, that just clicked
Yeah.
in for me.
He just stole a business essentially. So he didn't want to hire an architect, but he had this vision of what he would construct there. So he wanted to make this building where the first floor had like stores and things like that. And then the second and third floors would have apartments. And he began construction and would call this place the Castle, later to be known as Murder Castle. So here's a photo.
Like, I would
Ooh.
still go there, I'll be honest.
Yes.
Damn.
Well, you can't. I'll talk about it later. But
Yeah,
I mean, it's
I
not
know.
very castle-y, but sure, you can call it
No.
castle,
But
I
I do
guess.
like the rounded, whatever they're called, little bump
Yeah.
outs. Like,
but they did put castle in quotation, Chantal, as you see there.
Yeah, I
So
do see
very
that, yeah.
generous.
Yeah.
they're like his
They hold
castle.
He called it the castle. Yeah.
Hey, it's not any man's home, his castle. That's a thing, right?
Probably. Yeah. It sounds like
Yes.
a saying that there is
Sounds like a thing
somewhere.
that a man would say. Yeah.
Yeah. He would frequently hire and fire different construction groups for small projects, never paying them. Usually, he was
Like,
just
just
like, your
what
work
a
was
dick.
bad. And yeah, he was a terrible person. If only they had like some type of, reviews about him out there at this time.
Yelp. No,
yeah.
sorry, not Yelp.
Yeah.
Because that's for food, isn't it? Google
No,
reviews. There we go.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they can rate his pharmacy or something. So, and he was sued, but he'd always somehow get out of things or just avoid paying.
1 star. Killed my son.
Right.
Oh my god.
Well, they
Well,
did.
It happened.
I mean,
Would give 0, but won't let me do that.
it was my favorite son too.
Yeah. Also, my prescription was late. Ugh. So,
And
They
the
said it
bathroom,
was ready, and I went there, and it wasn't.
the bathroom had no soap.
God.
so having different people work on it was all part of the plan because then only he would know the true layout of the building.
So
So
genius,
apparently-
it just might work.
Yes, he had like
Oh my
secret
god, this is flooding
doors,
back to me. Yes.
passageways,
coming back to you now?
trapdoors. It's all coming back.
I knew someone was gonna pick it up.
I think that's where you're going.
She can be
I
referenced.
knew.
in any
I
way.
just didn't want to interrupt Lindsay while she was.
Oh, you can
telling
always
us
interrupt me for
beautifully.
song.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
fine.
sorry.
For-
Okay.
It's like
for
this is a
song.
musical. It's the first musical podcast.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Is that a thing? Are there any musical podcasts out there where they
Yeah,
just
we
burst
should look
into
that up.
song? Could that be us?
Okay,
could be.
I don't know. We'll have to
someone
work
make
on
a
our,
note.
our vocals. Okay.
We'll have a spin-off.
So yeah, apparently were trapdoors where victims could fall into the basement. It sounded to me like a little bit like that Winchester Mystery Mansion.
Yes, like doors to no,
doors
doors
to-
to nowhere,
yes.
stairs to nowhere.
I mean, hers
Right.
was a little different. It was because obviously she thought I have to keep building, not I'm gonna
Right.
try and trap people.
No, yeah, hers was very much, I'm trying to stop the ghosts or whatever. So
And his
Yeah,
was like,
from, like
let
killing
me,
people.
let me
And he's
make
like, let me
ghosts.
murder people. Yeah, let me make ghosts. Yeah.
So
Creepy.
he ended up hiring one man on a long-term basis who actually ended up trusting. So in 1889, he hired Benjamin Pitzel, a carpenter. He ended up becoming kind of his personal assistant too. So he would help Holmes with different other deeds, like
His
writing
calendar.
forged checks, maybe.
and fortune checks. Yeah.
You can see his picture there. I'm getting the vibe that he had a large family, a lot of children, and probably saw that money as a good
Desperate.
opportunity
Got
to
you.
provide for them.
Because he looks like a normal guy.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not
Sometimes
giving
they do.
me. Doesn't give me.
Yeah. I'm thinking he
bad
did
guy
it
vibes.
for the money, not for sinister.
the thrill of the
motives.
badness. Yeah.
Exactly. I think he got caught up with the wrong person, maybe. So, like I said, in general, anything Holmes bought for this place, furniture, things, he had never any intention to ever pay for any of it. So he would buy it on credit, bad
Love it.
checks, all this stuff. So he owed everyone a lot of money. He just did not care.
He's just such a dick.
He would also ask his employees to take out insurance policies and name him as the beneficiary.
Red flag.
No.
Red flag.
No. What
Flag.
the fuck?
I
Who
know.
said yes to this?
Well, one
All of
woman
them.
who did his laundry, he offered her $6,000 to take out a $10,000 life insurance policy on her, with him as the beneficiary.
Mm-hmm.
But he assured her it would be great for both of them because she'd have the benefit now, and then if anything were ever to happen, but she was young, nothing foreseeable. That
Oh
way
my
he would have some money just in case something ever were to happen. And it
God
would be
damn
$4,000
it.
profit for him. So
That is so
she
messed
realized
up.
after she did this that this felt very terrible. So,
Mhm.
um,
As she was crossing the T's and dotting the I's, she's like,
Wait.
something feels wrong.
I don't know
right.
about this.
You know, I can't judge. We've all been there, okay?
Exactly.
We've all been
No
in this
big
exact same
deal.
situation.
And we know how he likes to sell corpses too. So this is
Mm,
really great.
okay.
So at the start of the World's Fair that I mentioned earlier, Holmes saw this as a huge opportunity to take advantage of many people, from employees that he could bring in to use to staff this, what he would, end up calling the World's Fair Hotel. So he decided to have a
Okay,
hotel
it's
here for
good
the World's
marketing,
Fair.
okay?
I
Because when
know,
you
it's not
Google
bad.
World's Fair, the
But there was no
SEO.
Google, right? I know. That's what I was thinking, but there was no SEO. So really he was ahead of his time in that mindset though, that
Yeah.
it made sense.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the yellow pages looked at at
Yeah,
that
what was
time,
the
or what the
Google of that time?
Newspaper?
Yeah.
it really was probably just the newspaper, but people might see that and be like, oh, I'll stay
Well,
there.
World's
And
Fair.
probably like
World's
world
Fair.
of I was about to say word of mouth as well. If people being like, I'm going to see the World's Fair, where should I stay? And they're like, well, you should stay at the World's Hotel.
And it's
Well,
all on the
obviously.
shoulders when you're
Yeah.
going to sell it. It's
What
all.
do you mean?
The more shoulders, the
Oh
more
my gosh,
honest.
he would have
the
hired
review
you
I
in
is.
a
would have been great
second.
in this time.
He also seemed to go for beautiful blondes with blue eyes, so you guys would have both
Oh
been
no.
very
And I would have been like,
So-
of course, Mr. Holmes, I'll sign over this
You
life
made me
insurance
laugh.
policy.
yeah, whatever you want, sir.
Mr.
Your charm and
Holmes.
charisma have just got me. Um, so he ends up meeting a lady named Julia Connor, who worked at the pharmacy in 1891. She began an affair with Holmes. She was married at the time with a
At
young
this point,
daughter
who hasn't,
named
though,
Pearl.
honestly?
I know, he's so charming. Who wouldn't?
Wait, and Pearl's the daughter's name?
Yeah.
I love the name Pearl.
Yeah.
So when her husband found out, though, he ended up leaving, and he left
Fair.
Julia and Pearl behind.
Like,
And
okay,
Oh.
so divorce, but you have a kid, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I
fuck
know.
off.
I didn't care
So,
back then.
I'm sure he
Back then.
cared in the long run because, so they end up staying with Holmes in his hotel. By December of that year, though, they went missing. So Holmes ended up claiming that Julia died from some botched abortion. So she had come to him saying she was pregnant, and he said, "Look, I'll marry you, but only if we have an abortion." Which doesn't really make sense because it seemed like,
what?
well,
I'll
get
only
married
marry
because
you
she's
if you don't
pregnant.
have my kid. Like, what?
yeah. We don't know if any of this is really true.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not. I can feel
Yeah.
like it's not.
Yeah.
We don't know,
Well,
but like we know.
It's possible that maybe
You
she
know.
got pregnant. I don't know. Maybe that. I don't
Sure,
know.
maybe she was pregnant
But-
when he killed her.
Guys,
Yes.
he didn't seem to give a shit about knocking up these poor women and then leaving. So I don't think she. I think he told a story because that made it
Yes.
look better.
Sure, it's believable.
Yeah.
But then what happened to
Uh,
the daughter?
So he later ends up confessing that he poisoned her after her
Uh-huh.
mother's failed abortion. But really, probably what happened is the daughter saw him murder her mom, maybe, and then he killed the daughter. So,
Lindsay, you just said
Yes.
mom like a real Chicagoan just
Ma'am.
then.
mom,
Ma'am.
sorry,
Ma'am.
been here
Me,
too
ma'am.
long, guys.
And it was like, you killed my mom. And so then he killed
It's
Pearl.
funny because my Canadian friends will say, like, you sound like you're saying Chicago things. And then my Chicago, friends and colleagues will be like, you sound so Canadian. I'm like, guys,
Well-
I don't know
Well,
what to say.
both are true.
In all
Both can be
fairness,
true.
that mom can also be very like East Coast too. So
Mom.
it's,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
like
isn't it
it's
more
a
like
weird
mum?
mix.
Mom.
Mom,
Ma'am. Wow, you're
Mom.
right. It could be both.
mom.
Let's take a big pause here and discuss this.
Yeah.
Right in.
That's the
tell
content
us.
our
Do you
listeners
say-
want.
Did you say mum,
Mom?
or ma'am
Mom.
or
Mom.
mom?
Or
Like a weirdo.
Yes. Well, I'm
Mom?
called mommy right now. So that is my
Aw.
name. But my son told me, he's like, when I'm older, when I was little, I called you mama. And now I call you mommy. And then when I'm older, I'm going to call you mom, I think. I'm like,
And then
Okay.
Lindsay.
Aw.
Hello, Lindsay. and
no,
he's gonna
you
give
can
a
never call
handshake.
me Lindsay. That is not okay. Absolutely not. The
Hello,
baby calls me
Lindsay. Nice to meet you. I am.
I'm like, go to your room. I,
I
don't care if you're
I'm
50.
your son.
You know what you did.
I don't
I-
care
I-
if you're 50.
Go back down to the basement where you live.
Because
No,
you're
you would
never
never.
leaving. Your mommy's boy forever.
Oh God, Lindsay, don't ever become that person.
I will not. I
She's
will let my
creating the next
children live
Bates
their life.
like
Basement boy.
Bates Motel.
I
Like,
know.
oh my
I
god.
just no, we're not going to do that. I want my
No, we're
children to go
not.
out in the world, just not
Mhm.
yet. Take your time.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
because they're
fair.
literally children.
They're
He's
so-
8.
literally children.
Like,
They literally need their
He's 8.
mommy. Yes.
Oh, poor
So-
Grayson. He's gonna be great. We're like he's like living in a basement in this like reality. No,
He's gonna listen to this when he's older. He's like, Mom, what were you and your friends
What were
on?
you doing?
Chantel, that's hilarious. He's never going to listen to this.
No, he never will. But
No,
when
he
he's
never
older, we'll take him out and he'll see how crazy we all are. So.
Yes, he'll be like, "This makes sense."
Yes, on his 19th birthday, I'm taking him to Canada, and the 3 of us are going out.
Yeah,
Before.
I
Yes,
love it.
and
Obviously,
we're all
'cause he'll
gonna
be
have a moose head.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
No.
Oh, a moose
Moosehead
head.
lager. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So his next victim that we know of was Emmeline Sigrand. She came to Chicago in May of 1892 for a job with Holmes. So she was recommended through his friend Benjamin Peitzel. And at first, she was in awe of Holmes. He definitely charmed her. But that started to change as she got to know his true nature. Remember, she was very close to him. She kind of acted as a secretary. Within 6 months or so, she would disappear. So,
honey.
yes, Holmes claimed
Did
to
she
have
find
a
that
letter
trap
from
door?
her. Well, I'm gonna get to it one second. It's gonna be that. Okay. So he claimed to have found a letter from her claiming to have left with her fiance to get married. But if there was a letter, likely he forced her to write it. It was likely she wanted to leave, but knew way too much about Holmes for him to simply let her go. So later, during an investigation down the road, they actually found a footprint inside this vault he had in his murder castle. And the police guessed that it was her foot actually trying to push her way out. So he had a gas line entering this vault that he locked her in and basically suffocated her inside.
Bad, bad,
Oh
bad,
my
bad.
god.
Yes, really brutal.
Oh my god, these poor people.
Yeah.
So it keeps getting worse. In 1893, Holmes will be reconnected with a young woman he had met previously named Minnie Williams. He had met her in Boston under another alias he used to use, Dr. Howard. At the time, he tried to court her because he had found out she had a large inheritance, but there was really like a distance between Boston. He's going to Chicago. It was just hard to keep it going. So when she moved to the city with the excitement of the World's Fair, he was like, "Perfect, you're here." So
Like she
he
almost got out of his orbit. That's just
I
really
know,
sad.
I know. He makes her his wife, illegally, of course. So she didn't know
Well,
that.
this is like
but-
wife number 5 or something.
right. So he ends up convincing her to sign away all her property and inheritance to him. Like she owned a big property
Girl.
in Texas or something like that. She had a lot of money. Her sister Anna, known as Nanny, was not impressed by Holmes and probably saw through him a little bit. So she came to Chicago to visit her sister. But what happens next is pretty horrifying. So you can go to my next photo. This is the sisters.
Oh,
Don't ask
wow.
me who's who because I forget. But
Doesn't
one
matter.
is
They
one,
look almost
one is the
identical.
Who's
other.
who?
I just realized I forgot to put their
I need to
names.
know. We cannot go any further.
No.
Sorry, I can put it in later. So Holmes claimed that while Minnie was out, Nanny arrived and something maybe happened that made Minnie very jealous. Like maybe she had slept in the same bed as Holmes or something like that. So Holmes claimed that in a jealous rage, she killed her sister.
Mm-hmm.
And then to hide the body to help her, Holmes claimed that he put Nanny's body in Lake Michigan. This is the
Oh
water
my
connection,
God.
guys.
Oh, now it all connects.
It's all coming back.
So-
Okay, Coast Files. Got it. Yeah.
I actually got the whole idea for the story because I did one of the Chicago ghost tours in Lincoln Park Zoo, and our tour guide told us about Holmes potentially dumping bodies in Lake Michigan. So I was like, wait a minute, that did come up. So that was this
counts.
whole story. Yes.
It counts.
Now, apparently, though, it isn't probably true that he buried her there. He probably just told the story. What likely happened is he killed both sisters in his murder castle.
That's the whole
likely
purpose of the place
suffocating
anyway.
them
Like-
both in the gas chamber. It seemed to be
Yeah.
kind of
Jesus
his,
Fuck, that's
go-to, maybe. And again, some of the remains were later found after a police investigation happened later on, along with other things they found in the house, like a dissection table, a kiln, and a vat of acid that contained human remains. So
Jesus.
we'll get to more of those things.
He's
So
doing too much.
he really is. But
Like, stop.
that's why he
Like,
had
pick
this
a lane.
own layout. So like no one could, like most people might not be able to
And
find these
like by
things.
this time, are people like, okay, there's too many people going missing in your presence. Like we need to look into this, or are they still kind of like, oh yeah, sure, this white man
He
is telling me
really,
this, so I
I think
believe
he
him.
really did evade a lot of it with his charisma and of the time just being,
Yeah.
you know,
And
Just
like the
people
it
just
was hard
story.
to
coming and
prove and it
going.
was hard like
Yeah.
even with the Emmeline that I mentioned,
Mm.
like her family actually didn't think anything of it at first, really. They thought she was legitimately like missing or she went off with her husband or something and he was keeping up like he was helping them. So like they really bought
Mhm.
into like that he wasn't involved at first. So
And correct me if I'm wrong, but like back in this time, it would take weeks to get somewhere. So you're writing
oh
letters and
yeah.
everything takes longer. So by the
Mhm.
time you think someone like, oh, I haven't heard from so and
Right.
so, it could be months
It
and
could be an
months, and then
accident along the way. It
yeah,
loses
and
a
you have no
wheel,
Right.
way
and
of
you're like
there's no
screwed. And
identification. Like
Yeah.
unless you
yeah,
have like your name on you, how are they going to find out who you are? Because I
yeah.
don't think
Right.
fingerprints happened till like the early 1900s. Maybe I'm
I
wrong.
forget. Yeah.
Late
I don't know.
1900s. Someone screaming like, "I just did that at bar night trivia. I know exactly when."
I know. And I mean, I think at the same time too, this was like the whole Jack the Ripper era
Yes.
when this was happening.
Well,
So like how
when you were
hard it
describing
was.
Chicago, that was how that Whitechapel area was described, like
Yeah.
heavy fog, dark, not
Yeah.
well lit, and just
This was like
Fingerprint
essentially this is the
identification
same time. Oh,
yes, go
started in
on.
modern application in 1858 when William
so it
Herschel
was.
used them in
Damn.
India to prevent
Oh.
fraud. And then evidence as to solve a homicide, it started in 1892 in Argentina.
Ooh.
That's around the same time as this.
Okay.
So that was in
So
Argentina. So
yeah.
same
So not
side of the
around.
world. No,
Yeah. So
not
around, but
not in
like
Chicago.
not commonly used at this time.
Mhm.
So after the World's Fair ended, that would have been like around October 1893, he had to resort to more schemes and more, you know, frauds and things like that because his financial situation of Chicago is now not so great. People are
Like,
not
when is enough?
flocking.
You own a pharmacy. You're living life. You have 100 wives. Like,
It's never enough. So in 1894, he married another woman, Georgina Yoke, and he lied to her about how he acquired land and she
what?
bought his story. Like he met her in another state or something.
Yeah.
Um, he started to travel a little more, or like he's trying to do these frauds across the country.
I'm trying to
So
do a
it
fraud,
wasn't.
guys.
Yeah.
Get out of my way. Fraud
Fraud
coming
time.
through.
I have a fraud to do.
A fraud to do.
He would have
just
called
sounds
it
so
honorable
stupid.
business, Chantal. So
I'm a
it
businessman. I have
wasn't
a fraud.
until he did a lot of other stuff. I just didn't get into it where he was
Mhm.
at what time, but there was something about horses, like horse fraud he was doing.
There was actually
Yeah.
an episode
It was actually a
of
donkey.
Yeah.
he just painted. It's like, no, he's just
It's a real
small right
horse.
now.
It's a
There
real
was an
boy.
episode. There was an episode of Forensic Files where this old couple were hiring farm hands who were like, men like down on their luck, like transient men, like
Mm.
just kind of in the countryside, like looking for a job. He would give them checks to go buy horses. They would give the check, take the horse. The check was bad. Then he would say, "Oh, that wasn't my check. That was Jeb's check." And then meanwhile, he had killed Jeb, and he did this like tons of times. So he killed
Oh
all
my
these
gosh.
people to get free horses.
I
That
mean,
Anyway,
sounds
horses are
like,
expensive.
yeah, just like
They
Holmes.
are.
Like they would have been buddies for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it wasn't until his sixth to ninth official victims were dead that this murder spree would finally stop. So his closest confidant, as we mentioned earlier, Benjamin Pitzel, would
Mhm.
ultimately be betrayed by Holmes. He had helped him with numerous frauds, but on his last, Holmes convinced him to take out a life insurance policy on himself so they could fake his death and cash
No.
in. So they meet in
Pitzel.
Guys,
How
the
many
call's
times?
coming within the house.
How
I
many
know.
times?
Like, you're
Well-
literally watching this thing happen. You're like, yeah, sure, I trust you.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do it on me this time. It's fine.
Surely he
Why
would
not?
never hurt me.
Me. His bestie.
The one who knows all his crimes.
Yeah.
Why would he hurt me?
Of course not.
It makes no
Who's been
sense.
in on him from day one? Who could put him away in a heartbeat? Okay. So they met in Philadelphia where he was supposed to find the body there and then they would be on this together. Again, he was in the impression they were going to find like a body that
Mhm.
was already dead. Ultimately, Holmes ends up killing his friend and uses his own
Mm.
body for the scheme. So he tried to make it look like an accident. He gave him like a lethal dose of chloroform, and he tried
Oh,
to make it look
who
like there was an
hasn't?
explosion. So
Oh my god, he went like all out.
right, but then he
This sounds
realized he
like
was
sorry, this sounds like an episode of CSI Miami where there's like an ice sculpture inside someone and there's like it was just an accident. Just like
yeah.
the most like random setup.
Obviously. Anyway, the authorities were not buying this. And also, he realized he was like a big dum dum because Pitzel's wife knew all about the scheme and also all his children knew about
Oh
it
my god.
too.
Oh my god.
I'm so glad he told the
So,
wife.
Yeah.
yeah, I think so Holmes had to like then kind of be like, all right, how do I deal with
Ooh.
this? Because now he's dead, but the wife knows and like all his million children know. So how do I deal with this? So
They won't think it's me. It's fine.
he ends up convincing his wife, Carrie, to send one of their daughters down to confirm it's her dead dad so they could go
Don't
along with
send
the
your
scheme.
kids to him.
Right, exactly. So anyway, she ends up seeing like the body but it's so badly burned that she doesn't even actually recognize that it is her dad. She just confirms that it is her dad because that was supposed to be the whole plan, that it was supposed to be like a body they found and they're
Mm-hmm.
using it.
Mhm.
So it actually was her dad though.
Sad.
So anyway, he has one daughter with him and like traveling around with his new wife. And then he ends up telling the wife, well, sending a couple other kids down because we're going to meet up with like your husband. And he's lying to her. I'm not sure why
Oh,
I,
so he convinced her that the plan did work
right.
and that okay.
Yes. And so she sends two more of their kids down.
Why
So
are you FedExing your
yeah.
kids to this insane man?
Meanwhile, he's kind of apparently he is actually having like nightmares over this because he did kill his like really his only friend, and he was kind of like I don't know. I don't think he probably felt
No.
bad, but I think he felt a little bit like oh my god, now he
He like
knew
fucked
like
up.
he knew he fucked up, right, and he
Mhm.
knew that things were not gonna look good because too many people are involved now, and he shouldn't have killed him. Like that was not part of the plan.
No, that's so
Mhm.
short-sighted. And he was
Mhm.
along for the ride the entire time. So like
Mhm.
what made him think, well, now it's time you go?
Yes, exactly. So she ends up sending her son down, Howard, and another daughter, Nellie. He's evading Carrie a bit. Now he has three of their children. He ends up killing Howard. And then
Hmm.
he ends up crossing the border with the other daughters and actually gets a rental house in Toronto.
I knew this.
Yes.
Yes. I feel like I knew this. Yeah.
Where he ends up killing his two other daughters, likely from gas and suffocation, like he did some of his other victims.
Jesus.
So finally, he meets up with Carrie, and she's starting to like catch on a little bit because he literally tries to lure her into a basement where he wants her to like either step on an explosive or something. Like he was trying to set a trap for her.
Jesus
She's like,
freaking
"Whoa!"
Christ.
I don't know if she's asking where her children are too at this point
I'm
because I
very
would
mad at
be.
her, but I have to understand. I think that back in this time, she was very much like sheltered just
Right.
from life experience because like women were allowed to fucking do shit, and
Mm.
and also like why would he kill her husband because they've been together for so long? And but I'm
Right.
mad at her. Like she willingly
Yeah.
sent her kids to their death. Like
Like you knew he
Right.
wasn't a good
You knew it
man.
wasn't
like
good.
you knew he was killing people,
Maybe
and
I
you're
think
like, yes, kids, go.
she was in on the fraud, obviously, but not on
Oh,
the
you don't think
deaths
that
and
The
she
the
knew?
murder.
murders.
But
I'm
I'm
Well, I know
still.
she
still
knew about the
you have
fraud,
to
but she knew
suspect
But
about the
why
though.
would you
but I don't
send your
know.
kids away? I'd be like, husband, you come to me. I'm not sending my kids. I don't know.
Yeah, like
Oh,
she's buying the
sorry.
story
No.
that he likes. Oh, you just missed him.
He was just
So
here. It's so weird. He was just here.
now maybe they did have quite a relationship where she really thought that wasn't a possibility,
I
and
don't
maybe
know.
I don't know, maybe she really didn't know that he was a murderer. I don't know. So if she didn't believe he was capable of that, and like I said, he is very convincing. But yeah, I'm not sending my like young children to go hang out with you. Like, no, I'll come with my
Mhm.
children if I'm going to go
Yeah,
anywhere.
exactly.
Mhm.
So
Anyway, sorry. I know, like, we don't know, but that just made me mad.
In the meantime, I think Holmes he knew that his time was running out. Apparently, he returned home to his first family and like tried to claim he was in an accident. He forgot and like,
Oh my, I just had
which
amnesia. I just woke up.
yeah,
Honey, great to see
I
you. What do you
know.
mean I've been gone for 20 years?
And I read somewhere that it was like they believed him or something. So I'm like, okay,
Oh my god.
whatever.
What are people? This is why you need the internet. Everyone believes everything.
I know. Why does everyone believe this man all the time? Anyway, the
Holy
authorities were
shit.
not believing him. They were catching up on him about the investigation. So they end up arresting him in Boston in November 1894 under a forgery charge and also under the original charge of faking the death of Benjamin. But they find out that he actually killed Benjamin. So they start to change. Okay, this is now murder. So first we thought you just pretended to kill him, but now we found out you actually killed him. So that's way worse.
You did it for
Um,
realsies. Now you're in
yes.
trouble for realsies.
Mhm.
And they also have discovered the bodies of poor Alice and Nellie in Toronto in the summer of 1895. And this prompts then an investigation of his murder castle, too. So, like these, I already
God
told you some of the things
damn.
they found in there.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, because, things were kind of chaotic there, and it's like you find parts and stuff. So it was hard to really get a full body
Oh,
count of what happened there.
that's so upsetting.
I know. So he was tried for the murder of Benjamin Pitzel in October 1895 and found guilty. So
Good.
this was pretty easy to prove. So that's why they went for that charge. He ends up confessing to 27 murders,
Oh my
and
god.
he was actually paid for like a statement or something, which is kind of bullshit.
Huh?
But like, yeah, for a confession or something from like a newspaper.
Oh, sorry,
And
newspaper. That makes sense.
Mhm.
yes, yeah. So and then he was going to be put to death by hanging. He requested to be buried in cement and 10 feet down so that no one could steal his body, which apparently was granted to him.
Okay, that's unfair because you had been doing that for years before you went to fresh bodies. Ugh.
Right.
I feel like
Right.
this is something you would do if you think they're a vampire. Like
Right. I know I've heard before. I was like, they do that because they feel like, yeah, he could come from the dead, or
yeah,
like
like
it's to
rise.
keep him.
Yeah.
It's like scary. Like, oh, we have to keep this body
I
When
feel
concealed.
like
was it
that's
that they used
actually a
to
plot in the show True Blood. I'm pretty sure that
Yeah,
actually
maybe.
happened.
probably yeah. Oh my god,
That
True
actually
Blood.
happened in the
True
true
Blood was
show
so
True Blood.
good
So good.
until it went
But
off of
until
the
it
fucking
wasn't.
the
But then I still
Werepanthers.
watched it all. It doesn't
Me
matter.
too. I remember
still watched
watching,
every
being
minute of
like,
it.
I watched like the first
stop,
season
stop
only.
introducing
When
new like fairy things
when was it that they used to have the bells because people were buried alive all the time?
around
Oh
this time
yeah.
Yeah.
because
I would
people
have
would go into
definitely done the bell
comas.
because like I being buried alive. Mm-mm.
I
No
want a
fun.
bell on mine.
Let's just get
Even if I'm
bells.
cremated, I want a bell.
Yeah, still put that
I
bell.
okay. I'd be really concerned if the bell rang and it's just your like
It's
ashes.
my
I would
spirit.
I would dig you up in a heartbeat though. I'd be like,
I
"That's
also
my
want to
girl."
have a Ouija board on my. I mean, I'm not going to be buried, but like I want a Ouija
Oh,
board.
I
Remember
saw
that
this
that
really
old
funny
lady?
like grandma meme or something where it was like she sent like at her funeral like the little
Yes, like
Ouija board
keep in
card like keep in
touch.
Oh yeah,
touch.
keep in touch. Yes. Yeah.
That was so cute.
Love
Oh.
her.
So H. Holmes leaves behind a very sinister legacy. He is known as America's first serial killer, like first reported on.
Yeah,
Mm.
And it's estimated that he killed between 9 and 50 people. With
we were at 27 a second ago.
Right. Well, that's Holmes confessed to 27. We don't know. Like, we know he's a liar, so we don't
Yeah.
know for sure. All they can prove was 9 officially. That's the ones I told you about in the story.
Mm.
But we know he did all these insurance scams, like he was taking out insurance things on different people.
Yeah,
Some estimate it could be as high as 200. That might be a little high,
Jesus.
but some people think it's could be, like I said, a lot more. So
what the hell?
this was a quote from H. Holmes that he had said around the time that he confessed that I was born with the devil in me. I could not help the fact that I was a murderer, no more than the poet can help the inspiration to sing.
Okay,
So-
poets write, they don't sing. You fucking idiot.
Right. But the inspiration, right.
Yeah.
Anyway, essentially he's saying that, like, look, I messed up.
This is just my
And
nature.
That's just my nature.
Let me be.
I can't help it.
I love it so much. Let me do
Mm.
it.
So there were some rumors that he may have possibly escaped before the death penalty, bribing authorities because, he was known for that stuff.
Charming.
Mm.
In 2017, his descendants actually had him exhumed, and they confirmed with DNA that it was really him. So he was actually
Okay.
hung and buried.
And in cement.
Yes. The murder castle was set on fire shortly after Holmes was arrested, but it wasn't officially demolished until 1938.
Whoa.
Today, there's a U.S. post office that sits on the site, and the staff of the post office claim to have heard voices and seen apparitions and have a very like eerie feeling when they go into the basement.
Mm.
So
Not surprised.
very well be very
That's
haunted.
crazy.
I know.
Because
I'm
even
like,
though
kind of want to
the
go to the
building's
post
gone,
office,
I know I kind of want
Right?
to check it
Yeah.
out.
but
Because
yeah,
like it's even in the basement, like he had a basement too. So even though it's not the same basement, it's still in the same like physical space.
right.
I don't
Now I
know.
have
Creepy.
heard Englewood is not a very safe neighborhood in Chicago, so maybe I'm not
Maybe
gonna.
go
I
during the
don't.
day.
Yeah, definitely go during the day. But yeah, I've heard it's not maybe the safest neighborhood. So, but
That's a
that is
shame.
a haunted post office. So that is
Okay.
the somewhat brief down version of H. Holmes and
Damn.
all his
Yeah,
bullshit.
there's so much. Because the
Yeah.
book is so good, and you
Yes,
covered
I
like all
definitely
the highlights.
recommend. I mean, I hope I was trying to remember some stuff too that came up in the book. Luckily that he had an index that helped a little bit.
Yeah, no,
But
you
I recommend reading
covered.
this book.
Yeah, you covered it.
I
The
have
book is
it.
awesome.
I wrote it down so that I will
Yes.
get it
I
now.
know.
Because
I
there's
should have
a
just
there's a really cool like cat and mouse element with like a detective who's like on his trail, and it just makes you want to go like, oh, you're so close.
yes. And it's also like if you're just interested in like if you're interested in architecture, obviously read the book because
Oh my
that's
god.
Mhm.
in there. But
Yeah,
or Chicago
yeah.
history.
That element of the book too was almost as interesting. And
Yeah, it was
all
really
the
cool.
fucking and how it almost didn't come to. Okay, just read the
I
book.
know.
Book is really good.
Yes, it
Okay.
Like
is.
I was almost as anxious. I'm like, oh my god, are they gonna get it? Like knowing that yes, it did happen, but still,
Yes.
like there was so much bullshit going
There was like
on.
a
It was
battle for who was going to light the fare, like between Edison and Tesla, and like there's all this. It's a really interesting book, Tesla one.
Lindsay,
Okay,
that was
I'm
a
definitely
big one
gonna.
to cover,
Yeah.
and I think you did a great
Yeah.
job because that's a lot.
Amazing.
Thanks.
That
I
was
was
really
holding
good.
off because I wasn't
I
sure how
wasn't.
to cover
It's
it
big. It's a
and
big
how
one.
to relate it to the water. as
Doesn't
much,
matter.
but
It's true
like
crime. That's true
Chicago's on
crime.
the water.
It's half
Right.
of the
This is a
tagline.
huge true crime.
Exactly.
So we're good.
I
And then
know.
yes, it's on Chicago, and maybe there's bodies.
And
in
there was
was a
the
Boston,
body.
lake.
which is
Or-
near ocean, and Toronto near lake.
Mhm.
So you're more
Exactly.
than you covered.
So
You're
covered.
fine.
Yes, you're fine.
And it's spooky as hell because he was scary. So
And
You-
it's
Mr.
you
Halloween
hit-
story.
You've hit all three.
season.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, that was great.
And haunting.
But
So
Mhm.
oh my god.
Check.
Okay, so this is
Check.
the perfect case.
check.
Yeah. We got it all. Well, thank you for that and
Thank
getting
you.
that all
Thank you
into
for
like
that
a
historical trauma.
Yeah. I love trauma, guys. I don't know. I don't know if I
It doesn't matter how old it
before.
is.
It's my
Just bring it
favorite.
on.
I've had a lot in my life. It continues. So you're just adding on to the
It's fine.
personality. That's all.
Yeah.
But no,
Well,
that
I'm really
was
excited for
good.
next week with our actual Halloween episode.
Which
So-
it's gonna be great once I figure out what I'm doing.
Right. And hopefully Megan
Yay!
doesn't get too sick on us. which is
I'm holding on by a thread. I think I'll be okay. But we discussed what I might cover, and I
Mhm.
think if you liked the Christmas episode and the direction I took, you might like the Halloween
Not when we got
episode.
very drunk and off of the
Well, I can't say that
What?
won't also happen.
silver bells. No more silver bells for Chantal.
Oh my god!
never drinking those again. Yeah. I'm good.
Chantal got annihilated
I did.
by the freaking silver bells.
I did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was
I
a fun
forgot.
episode,
I forgot
though.
that they were just pure alcohol. So
That is what a martini tends
Yeah.
to be. Who
Good
would have
choice.
thought?
I would have thought.
Okay,
Weird.
this is an hour and 18, so you guys are gonna do your magic and cut this down a little bit, and
Yeah.
Yes.
and then we'll see you next week for the Halloween episode.
Okay.
This is Halloween. This is
This is
Halloween.
Halloween.
Everybody make a
Halloween,
sing.
Halloween.
Halloween.
Okay.
Bye.
We love you guys.
Wait.
Oh, wait. Oh.
But if you're Canadian,
Yeah.
say Halloween.
Halloween.
Say
Say
Halloween.
Halloween. Say
Hey.
Halloween. I, for the longest time, thought they were just saying "say Halloween,"
no.
like S-A-Y.
En
Anyways.
Yeah.
français.
Uh-uh.
Okay,
Okay.
now we're gonna say goodbye for real.
Okay.
Okay.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Thank you for listening today. We loved having you. If you liked the episode, share with your friends, family, or anyone who would enjoy it. Also, take a moment to review our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Leaving us a like or comment really helps. If you'd like to buy us a coffee, please visit our coffee page at www.ko-fi.com/coastfiles. Email us at coastfilespod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at coastfilespod, or visit our website at www.coastfiles.com. You can find the sources for today's episode on our website. See you next week with a new episode.